Jay, moving patients from hospital bed to hospital bed is a much bigger problem than people realize. $20 billion in lost labor productivity due to 60% of nurses being injured trying to transfer patients. $4 billion in lost revenue. What was your inspiration at Able Innovations to create a solution to this very large problem?
It was actually a very personal inspiration. So when I was a teenager, my mom used to work long-term care facilities, and I've personally witnessed her lifting and moving residents. It was very undignified for them, but for my mom too. She injured herself numerous times.
And this is literally just physically trying to move a patient from one bed to another.
Exactly, bed to wheelchair, bed to bed. Sometimes she had help, but even that required a lot of strain. And over the years, it's just built up. She now has so many chronic injuries, she can't even, move things at home. So seeing that at a personal level sent me down this journey to use my engineering and robotics background and try and solve this. And in 2015, it dawned on me, this is it's an automation issue where you need this is a high frequency task. It's highly labor intensive, need to be automated, and nobody was really looking at it that way when I started the company.
So you've created a robotic system to seamlessly transfer patients and bring a lot more dignity to the process. How does the system do that?
The way essentially it works, and I'm going to simplify it a lot, is it's a compact conveyor belt type system that extends out and then compresses the mattress. And all of this is fully automated. Once it compresses the mattress, we know what type of mattress it is. And then it starts rolling underneath the patient in a manner it doesn't pull or push on their skin. And it replaces the bed underneath them. And once it replaces it, it shuttles them onto our device. Now they're free to be moved to like a CT scan, another room. And the same process today would have involved one nurse identifying the transfer needs to happen, spending 20, 30 minutes to find other people, and then exerting backbreaking work.
And it's often 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 nurse practitioners or nurses that need to actually do this transfer and incur those injuries.
It's nearly impossible to have all the resources today that are needed to transfer, which is another reason why nurses are getting injured at such a high rate. Plus, it's really difficult to enforce the standard of care because it's discretionary. Which patient requires 2 versus 4, it's all a judgment call, and that's where sometimes you overstrain yourself, and it builds over time as well.
Hospital budgets, operating budgets, and capital investment budgets are very constrained.
Absolutely.
How do you convince them this is a no-brainer investment to make to improve the quality of care? As
we started commercializing, I thought this would be a big hurdle, but it's really not been, because hospitals are starting to understand what does it cost when somebody goes on injury. A lot of hospitals, what they do is if a nurse, they strain their backs, they say come back tomorrow, but only administer medicine, don't move patients. We'll pair you up with what they call a buddy. They're just following them for the physical task. When you talk to a hospital and say how much incremental costs are you paying out because of injuries, very quickly the economic argument is made. I'll make another argument to you, an efficiency argument. Think about a CT scanner now. When somebody goes in on a stretcher, oftentimes the single technician can spend 20, 30 minutes to find additional staff. That could be 2 more scans. With our device, you're getting more scans, you're making more revenue.
Jay, there's a lot of challenges in bringing new technologies into the healthcare industry, from a regulatory standpoint, from a training and workflow standpoint, in addition to all the capital investment issues. So how do you cross those barriers?
I come from the solar industry, and we were doing robotics in solar, and we were crossing new barriers because at that point there weren't many regulations present in robotics. So I come from a highly regulated sector coming into healthcare, so it wasn't a massive surprise. From day one we knew that this is going to be a challenge, so we addressed it head on, and I'd like to say successfully we've navigated those regulatory requirements. It's really been about the sales cycles, how different jurisdictions purchase, how different markets purchase. That's been the key learning experience, where you could do a business plan for every sale. Every sale is different.
Able Innovations, you referred to the robotic systems as a platform. More solutions to come.
Yeah.
What's the next problem you're going to solve?
So with the current lateral transfer platform, we're going to be focused on bariatric transfers. We'll have specialized units going into specialties such as OR, imaging. But as you look down the line, we get into additional modalities such as turning patients, such as the device navigating itself within the hospital, getting patients
as an autonomous vehicle.
As an autonomous vehicle, and all the way down to bed to wheelchair transfers at home, where we can allow people to age in a setting where they want and live with their families longer.